Enforcement Directorate has taken former Mumbai top cop Sanjay Pandey into custody. In fact, this is after the court remanded him to 9-day ED custody in connection with the phone tapping case. Remember, he's charged by the ED of carrying out surveillance, carrying out snooping, phone tapping on behalf of the then officials of the National Stock Exchange led by Nitya Ramakrishna. If we can go to Shravan Sen on that big breaking development with the court remanding former Mumbai top cop Sanjay Pandey to 9 days of ED custody. Shravan, if you are getting me, over to you. What was there in the remand application of the Enforcement Directorate which made the court agree and give him in to 9 days of Enforcement Directorate custody? Shravan.
Well, in fact, Abhishek, the Enforcement Directorate had sought for 14 days of custody. They have been granted 9 days of custody. In a short while from now, we're also going to put out full details of the arguments that were played out in the court. Now, what we're given to understand is that Sanjay Pandey has made a big admission. Let's just put out the details which are coming in right now. First big admission that Sanjay Pandey, former Mumbai Police Commissioner, has admitted that yes, phones were tapping. But the twist essentially being where he's basically, he throws in a caveat in this, saying that it was not my company that was providing the machines. It was rather machines that the NSE already had. But he's giving the twist that this is basically for some sort of a analysis. But the fact of the matter is that this was finally being done inside the NSE. There was interception that was taking place. So the man in question is making an admission before the court that yes, phones were being tapped. While the court is, while the Enforcement Directorate, on the other hand, has made it abundantly clear that it was because of Chitra Ramakrishnan and Ravi Narayan who had given this particular contract to a company that was incorporated by Sanjay Pandey, and the fact that there was illegal interception that was going on starting from the year 2009 all the way up to 2017. 91 employees of the National Stock Exchange, they were under surveillance. And was this being done for a certain objective, certain motive, is something that one will have to wait and watch, because we're getting in some more details. In a short while from now, we'll also get our hands on the remand copy, because that is going to give you full details of what's happening. Let's make that Pandey has made this big admission already. Before the court, he's made the admission that phone were being tapped. That's the biggest admission that has been made by the man who was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate just yesterday. And the ED is essentially saying that they do have enough evidence to basically say that this particular company, incorporated by Sanjay Pandey, was being run by Sanjay Pandey even when he was in service. He now has basically given the twist that this is a political vendetta. The fact that these phone tappings were being done by the NSE, and he has no role to play. But the reality being that these machines were actually being provided by ISEC, and that is what the Enforcement Directorate essentially believes. Abhishek.
Shravan, also when these proceedings were going on, it seems Sanjay Pandey admitted that this monitoring was happening, this surveillance was happening, the equipment came in from the NSE itself, and that he was only a via media. It seems he has already admitted that the phone tapping was happening, and the ED charge to that extent has been proved.
Well, he's already made that admission, no matter how much he essentially is trying to convince the court, which it appears that the court was certainly not convinced with the prima facie evidence that the Enforcement Directorate has put forth before the court at this point in time. Because remember, it all started when the Enforcement Directorate was probing the NSE co-location scam, when basically they came across certain, certain tenders, a form of tenders that went to this particular company, ISEC Securities Private Limited. We are given to understand that initially the NSE had basically provided, a kind of call logs and description of those calls before the Enforcement Directorate. It was only after a thorough investigation they found out that this was not about 1 or 2 employees of the National Stock Exchange. It was about 91 employees of the National Stock Exchange who were being intercepted. And while Sanjay Pandey today before the courts says that look here, there was no monitoring that was being done. It was only phone recording for the purpose of analysis. Now that is what he wants the court, he wants everyone to believe, that this was all for analysis. If that was the case, then why would the interception actually start all the way from 2009 to 2017? And surprisingly, it's exactly the period of the NSE co-location scam. And it stops the moment the scam breaks out, this phone recording stops.
Shravan, you know, look at the series of events. The ED finds out snooping. It reports to the Ministry of Home Affairs. The MHA asks the CBI to investigate. CBI picks up the thread. And ultimately, it comes out that the ED also has been able to sort of zero down on the charges and, in fact, go on and arrest Sanjay Pandey. Remember, you broke the story of someone introducing Sanjay Pandey to the then top brass of the NSE, including Chitra Ramakrishna. Shravan, you think after this, the scope of the investigation would broaden, that both the ED and the CBI could include others in their broad sweep of investigation going forward?
Well, Abhishek, there isn't an iota of doubt that the ambit of this entire investigation is only going to widen. In the last few days, we have seen, starting with one FIR, it has gone up to 2 FIRs within the Central Bureau of Investigation. The same goes with the Enforcement Directorate. From the phone tapping case, they are also looking at how fake audit reports were being prepared by Sanjay Pandey's company. So the ambit certainly widening. Second, with regards to are we to expect more people to be called in for questioning? Absolutely, yes.
Right, Shravan.
In all likelihood, more people will be called in for questioning.
Right, Shravan. Thank you so much for bringing those developments. In fact, if you look at it, viewers, the element of surveillance for which Sanjay Pandey is now under ED custody